Today's program was brought to you by the National Federation of Independent Business, the voice of small business.
Welcome everybody, Tim Thiessen Live, broadcasting from the palatial studios of Central Valley Talk right here in the Tower District of Fresno. Welcome everybody in the Central Valley of California. We are getting a little bit of rain today, so good to clean the air. Some of the farmers are still have crops out, so that's going to be posing a bit of a problem for a few people, and cotton harvest is underway on the west side right now. But we'll see what the weather brings, but it is a little bit of a welcome change, a little bit cooler, and we'll have nice, clean, fresh air tomorrow to enjoy here. We have a great show lined up for you today. This show is all about hope, growth, and prosperity. Any direction our government takes us other than that is always the wrong direction. And knowledge is what empowers us to make great decisions each and every day of our life. Today's program is sponsored by the National Federation of Independent Business, the voice of small business, Citizens Against Lawsuit Abuse, and our newest sponsor, Horn Photo here in Fresno, for all your photo archiving needs, photography equipment, and everything that revolves around movies and photography. These are the folks, and they have a great staff ready, willing, and able to help you. Without further ado, we're going to go to my first guest, is Michael Keitz. He's the district attorney in Madera County, just north of Fresno here. Michael, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me, Tim.
We do a lot of things with attorneys from time to time, but that you are the first district attorney I've had on. Well, one exception, we had Phil Klein when he was in Tulare County. He was on.
Oh, Phil's a great
and
guy.
That's been a while on that, and we were really zeroing in on some real specific issues that they were dealing with in Tulare County at the time. A lot of people really don't have a good feeling for the size and scope of what the district attorney's office does, so I'll let you go into a little bit about that. And really, you are the top law enforcement officer in Madera County. So tell us a little bit about your office and what you do and where you at and all the things that you handle.
Well, we've got a great staff in our office committed to seeking justice with truth and integrity for the people of Madera County. Although I say Madera County, I'm actually a constitutional officer for the state of California. When I file a complaint, criminal complaint against someone, I file it on behalf of the people of the state of California. We have presently over 30 law enforcement agencies that send us cases. We're like the big melting pot, the big filter, everything. Anytime someone wants to have a criminal case that's a misdemeanor or felony filed with the county, that case has to come to our office, and then we file that with the Madera Superior Court.
Okay, so there's just an entire pool of agencies. Then you have the sheriff's office, Madera Police Department,
Chowchilla Police Department,
okay.
The Bureau of Narcotic Enforcement when it was up and running. They were sending us cases. Fish and Game, you name it. If it's a law enforcement agency and they have a misdemeanor or felony case to file with our office, we get it.
Okay, very good. So here recently you've been implementing some new programs, and one of them is case reviews. So let's kind of go through that and why this is really a good step on your part.
Well, we decided that in looking at our cases and our success ratio and everything, that we needed to get a better grasp on what's happening with the cases. So we did a couple of different case reviews. The first one is that we review the cases with the attorney that's handling the case to figure out exactly what the strengths and the weaknesses of the case are. If the case has some holes in it, we go back to the law enforcement agency that investigated the case and ask for additional investigation. And then we make sure that the case is assigned to the appropriate attorney in order that the experienced the level of the case is commensurate with the experience of the attorney handling the case. And what that's allowed us to do is to make sure that our cases that are in fact going to trial, we get more wins off those cases, and we get better results from the prosecution efforts overall.
One of the other things that caught my eye too is really seeking first of all making sure you have a case, but then making sure that the proper punishment is pursued.
That's correct.
Depending on the crime, and I'm sure you're figuring in too is the needs of the victims also.
Well, we always look at the needs of the victims, but we also have to look at the crimes that are in fact pled, that are supported by the evidence in the case, and we ascertain, based upon the current structure of the criminal laws, what's the best avenue to go. Is it to seek a local jail sentence, or is it to seek a state prison commitment?
Okay. And so do you have some latitude in that, or is a lot of that prescribed by state law, at which point you're going to hit a threshold where someone should be really recommended to a state penitentiary versus local jail?
Well, we do have some latitude, but other areas, such as in strikes cases, our latitude is limited. And we have to go forward under the penal code on a strikes case unless, one, we don't have a case, there's not enough evidence there, or number two is we can't secure the necessary testimony of a witness, or three, the net result of the case would not matter whether the person has a strike that's involved or not, because of the other crimes that are committed would provide sufficient punishment that would match what the strikes would provide in any event.
Okay. And that kind of feeds into then is establishing consistency in the three strikes law.
That's correct. There are 16 attorneys in our office. We're hiring 2 more, so there's 18 attorneys. And as we go down the road, we need to make sure that the resolutions in our cases are being consistent from one attorney to the next attorney, and also that we're fulfilling the requirements of the law. And if you don't manage those cases, you're not going to have that.
And well, and then the three strikes law, and I'm sure next year is going to be an election year, and we'll be talking about that in a little bit also. There's been this constant pressure to dumb down the three strikes law.
That's correct.
And now, from your point of view on the three strikes law, what I've seen, the numbers I've looked at, it's been very effective as far as causing these repeat criminals to start to pause and maybe either change their ways or be extremely careful.
I think that's it's been very, very effective. We had a long period of time when crime was continuing to escalate. The amount of time that criminals spent behind bars was not sufficient enough to act as a deterrent to keep them out of the criminal justice system. So when the three strikes came into play, it stopped a lot of that and caused these criminals to think twice before they commit these serious crimes or violent crimes, because they're going to go away for a long, long time.
Oh yeah, and one of the arguments too is, well, that third strike could be like a lesser crime, but really, if they haven't gotten, in my opinion, if they haven't got the idea by the second strike that maybe it's time for them to spend some quality time
absolutely
incarcerated.
Absolutely. And the current law, because of the recent proposition changes, gives some more latitude to them that way for certain crimes such as drug offenses. But by and large, people are still going to be held accountable for their actions, and particularly if they commit another serious or violent offense. They have to know they're going to go away from 25 years to life.
Yeah, and and that's the bottom line. I mean, it's common sense. Three strikes was born just 2 blocks down the street here.
That's
with
correct.
Mike Reynolds.
That's
and
correct.
Near to us, Mike is on the show often talking about that. You also have some efforts now to really strengthen your prosecution efforts, and if you want to kind of go into the new stuff that you're rolling out there.
Sure. Well, we've got a tremendous gang problem in Madera, just as it is in Fresno. And this year, when the budget was approved, I went to the board and I told them, look, we need to get a handle on this. We need to arrest this gang problem. And the number of prosecutors that we have in our office, we had one prosecutor dedicated to gang crimes and homicide crimes, and it's just not enough. So the board allowed me to hire another prosecutor, and I'm in the process of doing that right now, to put forth for these homicide and gang crimes. We presently have 20 homicides pending in our county that need to be addressed, and we're doing that, but it's taken its toll. So we need to have more attorneys in the office in order to combat that. The other thing is that Madera County, like a lot of counties, suffers very greatly from people that are driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And so we went to the state this year, the Office of Traffic Safety, and applied for and received a grant from them, which allowed us to hire a prosecutor and an investigative assistant to help the prosecutor to combat this drunk driving. And what we're using this individual to do is to focus on people that are driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs on cases that rise to the felony level, vehicular manslaughter cases, prior DUIs that have been 3 DUIs or more, and also the new trend that we're receiving, and that is the people that are driving impaired because of the influence of marijuana or other prescription drugs. And we've had several cases in Madera County that have come up. We had a person that killed 3 workers from the Chukchansi Casino who was high on methamphetamine. We've had another person not long ago that was under the influence of marijuana. And marijuana DUIs are becoming more and more prevalent because of the advent of medical marijuana.
Yeah, it's ongoing. Have they set, you know, this is one of the, as they're trying to soften these drug laws, is there a threshold like say for marijuana? Now, like methamphetamine and other things, that's just off limits because they're all controlled. On marijuana, is there a threshold?
No, there's no titrated threshold for either methamphetamine or marijuana, THC, the active ingredients, like there is with alcohol. Alcohol, for the most part, if you have a blood alcohol concentration in excess of 0.08%, you're automatically well, you're not presumed, but that's the stated level under the vehicle code. There is no such similar level for drugs.
Okay. Well, very good. Boy, we're bumping out of time already, Michael. One thing, though, I'm going to let you get the 30-second pitch. You are running for re-election next year.
I am, and the elections come up in June 2014.
Okay.
And I hope those that are out there in Madera County will, in fact, vote for me.
Okay, very good. And just keep doing what you're doing, and they will have a reason
Thank you very much,
to
Tim.
vote for you. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to pull you in at another time and really talk about a lot of this stuff that relates to marijuana. And then the new big issue in Fresno County is people motoring around under the influence, high levels of prescription drugs that weren't prescribed for them but somebody else.
That's correct.
And it's becoming a huge problem because they're all opiates, and it's we'll go from there. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Tim.
And good to see you again. And folks, we're going to be right back after these messages with Katie Grimes from Cal Watchdog.
Family photos tell your stories. Faces, places, milestones, and moments. You probably meant to preserve those memories. But where are those pictures now? Hiding in boxes or inside the discoloring pages of old albums? Do you own hours of home movies and videotapes that you can't even watch? Slides and negatives that you've saved for all these years and you never get to see? Think of all those precious memories that you've saved from the past to share with the future. Thanks to technology, we're taking more photos than ever. But we're not printing them like we should. Those digital images are held hostage on phones, tablets, and hard drives, leaving them as high-risk targets for accidents and hardware failure. What will happen to all of these images that tell your life story? Cherish those captured memories, not by hiding them, but by safely saving them. Put this overwhelming task on your own agenda, or enlist Horn Photo's expertise. Horn Photo provides hands-on help from day one, with organizing, scanning, restoring, and duplicating photographs. We can digitize your print and video memories onto DVD for easy viewing and safe, efficient storage. All you need to do is gather your prints, slides, negatives, and videos, then bring them into Horn Photo, where we will care for your cherished memories. In most cases, you can pick up your originals and your DVD within a few days. Once everything is on DVD, it's easy and affordable to order copies of your DVD for your children, siblings, and the rest of your family, so that you can share your memories with everyone. The best part is what can happen once your memories are digitized. We will show you how to transform your pictures into keepsake photo gifts and products you can enjoy for years to come. Don't wait for a disaster to destroy your collection of memories. Take steps to sort, save, and share your life in photos, whether you do it yourself or have Horn Photo help. Stop into Horn Photo and see our full range of solutions for saving and sharing your precious memories.
Own it all at Own a Car, Fresno.
I'm Christopher Bundros. I'm a CPA in Clovis. People come to me who haven't filed their taxes in quite a while, or when they do file their tax returns, they're surprised by how much taxes they owe. Or when tax season comes along, their records are so disorganized they have no idea what their income or expenses are. Call me at 559-765-0313 to arrange a complimentary 30-minute needs assessment. You can also find me on the web at clovisaccounting.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com